women cry abuse for everything, and we've actually lost the meaning of abuse. Like, if you go to...
She's so brave, yes.
And I know this because I'm doing a divorce documentary. And so I'm actually interviewing men that are in the process of getting like absolutely wrecked by divorce. And a lot of them have had false allegations put out against them.
Wow.
And a lot of those, basically what the feminists do is they expand the definition of abuse to include things like coercive control, financial abuse, and even physical abuse. A lot of times, like, girls don't talk about how they hit first. And most abusive situations are mutually abusive, meaning they're both hitting each other. And so a lot of times what girls will do is they'll say, oh, I'm being abused, but they don't talk about how she hit him first. Like, I had a girl on the show say, I
love how she never, and she will never, qualify anything with numbers. A lot of the time. This is why one of my new like rhetorical strategies when I'm on these shows, I think I've done this on almost every show I've been on. What is the percentage? Give me the percent. What do you think is the percentage of people that do this? I need a number, because when you say a lot of the time, are we talking like 3%? Or are we talking like 60%?
Physically abused. And I used to just believe women. Like, I would always just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But then you start asking questions, and it baffles me how women like turn the situation of them like being abused when they aren't. Like, this one girl, she came on my show, she said, I was physically abused. I said, okay, tell me the situation. What exactly happened? She refused to leave his house. She refused. So she's trespassing on his property, saying, I'm not gonna leave, and he pushes her out of the house. Is that abuse?
No.
Or another thing that girls do is they'll edge a guy on. Like, I saw a clip of a girl basically making fun of a guy for having a dead son. And he hit her. Who abused who? And that's like the other side of this that we don't talk about, is that a lot of times like the feminists or whatever will try to get a gotcha question because they'll say, oh, if you're in an abusive marriage. But like, I know the ins and outs of this because I interview the men that are falsely accused, and this is so common.
I know the ins and outs of this because I talk to one side of people that are disproportionately affected, that represent a minority of like, okay, dude.
And it's so common. So, and the one thing that guys should know is if a girl says she was abused and she didn't...
You know the Chris Chan sigh? Pearl always does it.
File a police report, because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence.
She said this, by the way. She said this on Twitter, and I asked what her source was for that. What is the source for this? And she said nothing. I think she said, I've talked to tons of lawyers. What? Can somebody explain to me what we're talking about here? When we talk about how you can accuse people of abuse and not have any evidence for it in family, what is like the what are we talking about? What is like the
and in criminal court,
and not a single person here is going to ask her about it?
You do. So it's more it's more likely true if it's in criminal court. If it's real abuse, yeah, I mean, you should leave. But my issue is like, a lot of times it's not actually real abuse what they're talking about, and they don't talk about the other side where a lot of times the girls start it. Thank you.
I don't know about that example of somebody saying, of the woman saying that, telling the husband that he had a dead son, and then she hits him.
No, I said he hit her.
Oh, he hit her.
Like, because she was
That's
like taunting.
though.
She was taunting him
if
about
someone
his...
taunts you, or if you taunt someone and they hit you, is that acceptable? Legally,
I didn't say that it's acceptable, but it's not like
we're talking about someone's dead child.
Right.
I don't think you know until that happens to you, your reaction.
I understand
You
that, but you can't punch someone because they say something that hurts your feelings. You cannot
violence
do that.
is not okay,
Yeah.
but that's
That
not
is not
okay.
okay.
Wait, tilt your microphone so it's facing straight.
I'm not saying it's okay, but we don't talk about the other side where a lot of times girls will provoke it.
I agree with
So
you.
it's not like he's this horrible. Like, is that in that
justification.
situation? Is that something that could be worked out? I mean, like, obviously that's a crazy toxic relationship, but they'll act like, oh, the guy isn't the horrible person, he's in the wrong, he hit her, but it's like you were taunting him. And also, like, a lot of times, you know what girls do? And I've read these text messages. Like, I have literally like
read these text messages.
These, like subpoena or whatever it is when they have to get the stuff from the women. Women know that they get perks from the government if they accuse a guy of abuse.
I have a very close...
know.
Wait, what? Hold on. Can you tell me? What are they? Why can't she list any of these things? What are the perks from the government you get if you accuse a guy of abuse? What is she? Maybe she's about to explain what that means?
There was a girl that had in text messages, I wish he would just hit me. Because if he hit her, she gets a free lawyer from the government.
Doesn't the government normally give you, I don't know. I can't speak for British shit, actually. I don't know. But Destiny, probably restraining orders or some shit. I could be wrong, but my understanding is you can get a restraining order for like almost anything. I don't think you'd ever even need evidence for a restraining order. I think you just go to a judge and say, like, hey, this dude's stalking me. Like, can I get a restraining order? I'm pretty sure they give restraining orders like pretty easily, but that's true for everybody.
And so this is like, these are the situations that like the left doesn't talk about, where men are falsely accused all the time.
All the
And,
time. No numbers.
Like and it's so sad because women that are actually
being
abused are the ones that suffer for it, because women are going around calling everything abuse, everything rape. Like
And most of
they
the women who
expand-
suffer from abuse actually suffer in silence and
don't
don't
say
speak
anything.
on
And
it
they're scared
ever,
to come forward.
and are terrified, and even you know, and it makes it difficult too. But obviously to prove in court. But a lot of women also don't call the cops.
Yeah,
I mean, a
that's
lot of
like
people
when you
suffer
said that.
in silence.
Yeah, the people who
So
need
I'm
it the
just-
most, they
yeah.
don't say anything.
I mean, and in my opinion, like I really think we need to go off of evidence. Like I just think that false accusations.
I also hate it when people are like, I think we should go off evidence. Like, wow. So really? That's such a brave thing to say. No shit, Sherlock fucking Holmes.
And abuse is so rampant that we have to go off of evidence, and we should encourage women that are actually abused to go to the police, because have to go off evidence. Like I just think that false accusations and abuse is so rampant that we
So rampant? Percentage. What is the percentage? This is what makes me feel like I'm really not trying to suck myself up, but like I feel like such a waste of time. These people, like, how can you have a conversation like this and not feel humiliated that you can't give a single number for anything? Like I feel like I would feel humiliated. Like if I, like, knowing that you're doing prep on this, knowing that you're going into these shows to talk about like real issues, like, would you not feel humiliated that you don't have any data to back anything up you're saying? Like, I'm really just gonna go here and weave a bunch of stories and hope everybody like takes what I'm saying on gospel. Like, not a single person who's going to ask, like, you keep saying a lot, you keep saying a majority, you keep saying a ton of the time, you keep saying it's rampant. What is the number?
we have to go off of evidence, and we should encourage women that are actually abused to go to the police. Because now we're in a situation where if you don't go to the police, how can I just believe you when women go around falsely accusing men all the time?
All the time? What's the number? Oh God, she's actually so f***ing disgusting, dude. Holy shit. Like, it's so gross.
I mean,
I don't
also,
think
I think there's certain situations where you don't have evidence.
Yeah.
Like, if I get hit, but it's not leaving a bruise, how are you supposed to show the evidence of that?
And I think you
if
also
I
need
go to
to
the police.
go to police officers and
how
tell
would
them
it
to
not-
take it
how
more
would you not-
seriously, because
'cause I'm
I can't
thinking
tell
if an
how many
average guy-
times
if
that
Brian-
I have had
if-
friends
I like how this, can she finish one statement, Pearl? You just ranted for like 20 minutes, Queen.
had something happen and they've gone to the police and the police do absolutely nothing.
Well, is it possible that maybe it didn't happen?
No.
Like, that's
Bro, she's saying that her friend said this and she just shouldn't believe her friend at all. Like, oh, maybe she just made it the up. What the Holy giga, Stacy.
the
because
thing. That's
we're
the
not
thing.
really going to get into it, but I was there. So I know
Okay,
for a
okay.
fact.
If you
Michaela,
saw-
can you pull
like,
it?
my whole point isn't about.
Mike.
My whole
Closer.
point is we need to go off of evidence. Like,
That's no...
in society, we cannot just openly believe women because they say something. It is not
But
fair
what was
to
I
men.
supposed to do?
I'm not
Get
talking
my
about.
camera
Look,
out?
I'm not
But this is
talking
what
about
I'm
your.
asking you is,
but-
what do you mean by evidence? You know, was I supposed to sit
so
there and get my camera out?
if you saw it,
It was my witness testimony enough?
What do you mean?
Witness testimony is evidence. It's considered direct evidence, right? That is evidence.
Was me witnessing it in considered evidence?
I would think so.
You would think so,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know the ins and outs of every situation. So
Oh, and now she's gonna go, well, I don't know about your situation. But let me tell you this one text message that I read from a husband who, like, bro,
I don't really want to go into your personal
Yeah,
one.
no,
But
I'm just
what
saying that
saying
when
is
you
in-
say, like, if a girl hasn't taken it to the cops, then she's lying, that's not
well,
a
your
blanket
friend
statement.
your friend did take it to the cops.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm telling you.
and I'm saying
no,
women
because
should go to the
I'm
police.
not finished.
But why if they don't do anything?
All right, let's
I-
move on. We're not going to talk about this.
oh my God. And then Brian cucks the conversation. Seriously? Because Pearl is starting to get pushed a little bit? Because she has a little bit of pushback?